number of events that take place in a school, including visitation day, class day, sports day, academic competitions, and so many others. But the most important of all is the parents' involvement in the children's academic success. Now, don't get me wrong, all these activities contribute to the academic success of the children in different ways. Now, behind me here are the students of St. Michael International School, Wakiso, and we are going to meet them, talk to them, and also the parents and teachers to find out the extent of the parents' involvement in the children's academic performance. My name is Amuga Victoria, and you are welcome to the Education Forum, a show that digests the trends and development in the education sector. Stay tuned. All right, so like I had mentioned earlier, the participation of a parent in a child's education is key. Now, Scovia is a student of St. Michael International School, Wakiso, and she is going to tell us more of how her parents are involved in her education and the importance of her parents' involvement in her education. You're welcome, Scovia.
Thank you.
So, Scovia, students in most cases go through a lot in school, basing from depression, sometimes bullying, sometimes lack of confidence and fear, or probably they lack personal effect in school, and sometimes that affects them in different ways. But for this case, how important is your parents' involvement in your education to you? How has it helped you as a person?
Me personally, it has helped me to get comfort. I'm comforted. My parents come here, check on my real performance. So it really helps me get courage, connect with teachers, get more about how I'm supposed to do things here in school.
So when you go back home, do you just take back your report and keep it in your suitcase, or do you share it with your parents? And if you have performed well or performed badly, do they talk to you?
Yeah, they talk to me, encourage me, always revise, consult teachers on a daily basis. So it has really helped me talk about when you come to teachers' consultation. They always tell me about consulting teachers and befriending teachers at all. So it has helped me revise my past papers, show my report card to my parents, so they comfort me and guide me accordingly.
Okay, I know that when you're starting school, when you're just joining secondary school, like from senior 1, you get to do a number of subjects. But then when you reach senior 3, you have to pick optional subjects, and then there are compulsory subjects you're supposed to do. So in your journey, when trying to pick the optional subjects you're supposed to do in senior 3 to senior 4, do your parents get involved? Do they help you pick the particular subjects you're supposed to do? Say, for example, you're supposed to include ICT into your combination, stuff like that.
Yeah, my parents are involved choosing subjects, optional subjects, because they sometimes limit me from doing subjects that are not going to help me in the future.
Okay, so our conversation with the students still takes on, and joining me right now is another student who is going to tell us more about the involvement of parents in their education and how it has helped her as a person and as a student to become successful or reach the level she is in right now. You're welcome.
Hello.
Okay, so the journey in school is a very tough one. It comes with a lot of ups and downs, and then there are times you feel like you want to give up. But then sometimes knowing that there are people behind you, people that are supporting you, is very important, and it's key. So for this case, we are talking about parents. How have your parents been involved in your education?
To me, my parents are like my root of confidence. They give me confidence. They tell me, persist with your books, you can make it. Just like I love my parents. Whenever I'm getting down in studies, they always have to lift me up. They're always my root of confidence, and they'll always tell me, Venus, you can do this. Venus, you can do it. Never give up. And yes.
Like for any student in school, there are always subjects that you're very good at, and then there are those that you're very poor at. And then sometimes parents tend to, beat you over this, or probably think you're not serious in school, but then sometimes there may be a little thing that may be holding you back. So how do they make sure that they take a step to see that you are performing better in certain subjects that you weren't performing better in?
Well, in most cases, when I'm at home during the holidays, they can get like my sisters who are already done with their studies to help me out. Given this stuff of choosing our optional subjects, like I had to sit down with my sisters and they'll be like, yeah, you're good in this, but where will it take you? How will it be good for you in your future? So they help me decide. And in the subjects I'm not good in, they'll always like get me coaching teachers to help me out so that I can improve in my academics.
So academics is not only done in school, but then you also have to continue with your academics even at home when you go for holidays. So what is your day like? What is your ideal day like, or normal day when you are home for holidays? Now we are speaking about parents being involved in your education. So how do they help you when you're home for holidays?
Well, when I go back home, they would like give me a rest of 1 week. And then each morning my mom will wake me up, make me make a timetable, tell me you're going to read this on this day, you're going to read this on that day. Yeah, so it makes like it's my daily routine every morning, like do house chores, then read my books. Yes.
All right. There are times or moments where, like I said before, that sometimes children are going through a very tough time in school and they're probably performing poorly in certain subjects, and parents tend to mistreat them or beat them or think they are not serious in school. But the truth be told, that sometimes they are slow learners and they're fast learners, and there'll probably be a small thing that these children need in order for them to perform well. That love and care from the parents is very important. Just knowing that they have your back, knowing that they're going to support you no matter what, because beating them is not the key. It's not going to help them in any way, but instill fear in them. But when you just get involved positively, that is going to be a very good thing for them. Now, we are still talking about the participation and involvement of parents in the children's education. Stay tuned. We still have more conversations coming your way. Remember, our topic today is parents' involvement and participation in the children's academic success. Now, here is the art and design room of St. Michael International School, Wakiso, and this is where the magic takes place. Remember, you do not have to come from a family of fine artists to become an artist, and this all just displays all that. This reports all that to you. So we are going to meet the arts teacher here, and he's going to explain to us more about what takes place here and the importance of all the artwork here. Stay tuned. The new lower secondary school curriculum that was enrolled by the government in 2020 encourages schools to give the students hands-on skills like this one, arts and design. And so joining me on the show right now is the arts teacher of St. Michael International School, Wakiso, and he's going to tell us more about what takes place in the arts room, what is involved here, and what it takes to come up with such beautiful pieces. Welcome.
Yes, you're speaking to Kabanda Philip, and I'm the art teacher, St. Michael International School. And like you can see, this is our art room, and we do a lot of work. Both theories and practical. And I think we are here to discuss about the art industry and fashion. Everything concerning art, we do it here. And yeah.
What does it take to come up with such pieces? What kind of materials do you need? What kind of materials do you use?
Like you can see, here we have masks. We do masks from papers. We get papers around the school. We pick all these papers they dump off. We use resources around us. Now we get cassava flour. We boil it. We use it like glue. Then we come up with these beautiful masks. After making molds, we get these papers, apply them onto the molds. Then we come up with these beautiful masks. After getting themes, I think that is it for the masks.
So after you made these pieces, do they just stay here or you sell them? There's something you do with them?
It depends. So we select out those that are very good. Of course, we can't have all of them come out polite, but we get some that we leave around for students to learn from. Then others, we sell them off. We sell them off. Yes.
Well, I think all of us have a little hint on arts. Personally, I did arts in senior one, though I think it wasn't my passion. That's why I didn't continue with it. But then, does your parent have to be an arts teacher or be an artist for you to also be an artist?
Well, I believe with art, it's all about passion. It's all about passion. Because at the end of the day, it's all about you, not your parent. It's you to either benefit or lose. So the more time you give it, the more love, the more attention you give it, then you can always achieve and get something out of it. And I think we have seen it in the fashion industry, we have seen it in the music industry, we have seen it in a lot of sectors, even architecture, like housing, painting houses, interior decor. There is a lot you can get from the art industry. Yes.
Well, there was a time that many of us looked at art as one of, I could call it one of the useless, subjects growing up. I'm talking out of experience. When we go to arts classes, we do it for fun, and we just want to finish the lesson and get out because we know when we reach senior 3, we are going to offer different subjects because we thought art was nothing back in the day. Now, the fact that it has been included in the new curriculum, that means it's something. So for you as an artist, do you think that a student has a future with art?
Yes, that's yes, because there is a lot of future nowadays when it comes to art. Most recent, we had Miss Uganda, and we happened to participate there. So a lot of clothes were printed, and of course we had to come up with designs. So there is a lot you can get from, most especially like these weavings. With these weavings, after making them, we sell them off. We use them in our houses. These paintings, like this beautiful piece of work, we can sell it off. We use it in the interior decor. We put them in our houses. So yes, there is a lot a student can get from the arts industry.
All right, so for a student who is doing fine art or arts and crafts, yes, are there particular things that they need, or they just come in and start doing it? Are there any qualities they need to possess?
Yes, and the most important thing is you have to have passion. You have to have the love, because if you don't have the love to push you into this, you need to have at least some money, of course, because most of these things we have to buy materials, like these threads. We need to make looms, we need to get paints, brushes, everything around. Sometimes we incur in some little money, nails, buying nails. So there is a lot we can always come up with, but we need to put in at least something small.
Now, believe it or not, but the involvement of parents in a child's education is key. Now, remember that the first school starts from home, and that begins with the parents, but it doesn't mean it ends there. They have to blend in and join in with the teachers to make sure that the children are participating in different activities in school and they are performing very well. Now remember, children go through a lot of tough times, including depression, bullying, and so much more. But the fact that they know there is someone behind them, caring for them, loving them, that gives them the strength to become better people, to participate in whatever they're supposed to do in school well, and yes, and also it contributes to their academic performance. Now, yes, we are going to meet the parents and see how they are involved in their children's academic excellence. Stay tuned. Do not go anywhere. We'll be back. Joining me here is a dear parent who has come to see one of his children, and he is going to tell us how he's involved in his child's education and how it has helped his child. You're welcome, sir.
Yeah, how are you? My name is Mlamba Patrice Osbert. I'm from Kamali District or Kamali Municipal Council.
Hey, you're welcome, Patrick. So children need their parents for them to be successful in school. Sometimes parents put their children in school and think that is just the role of the teachers and that is it, it ends there. But then at the end of the day, these children are supposed to bring back reports at home that you're supposed to review and see. I'm paying fees, but how is my child performing? So you as a parent, what has been your involvement in your child's education and how has it impacted to your child's success right now?
Yeah, a parent, a good parent must participate in the education of the child. That's what I had to do early this morning. I left Kamali early in the morning and I arrived here by 11. And by 11, very few parents had arrived. And we were one of the first few to arrive here. And immediately I called for my daughter. We discussed, first of all, the new curriculum in S1. The girl is in S1. The report was very different from what I know. We are used to a situation of getting 100% or 50%, but here's a situation whereby they are telling me that the best gets 3. When you get 3, it really confused me, and I had to go to the class teacher, and he told me, and when I realized that my daughter has scored most of it into 2.73 around there, which is the best that one can score, I really enjoyed it. And we had to discuss and everything went on well. I discussed with my daughter and he told me her weaknesses and the new syllabus, I think it is very good. It is really very practical. Except that you need to explain to us, the parent, the way it is done. If they don't describe to you, you may even think the child is underperforming. Because I realized that a 3 is the best. When in last, I used to 100, but they are telling me a 3 is the best for an S1. That was very new and unique to me. Otherwise, I interacted with the child and he was telling me most of her problems which we shared. I was excited. The school is result-oriented, and I hope for the best. They are going to do well.
Well, it's good to know that parents are embracing the new curriculum and they are loving the practical skills that their children are getting involved in. But yes, we still have more conversations coming in with more parents. So yes, you can stay tuned. And yes, there is a parent joining me here right now. And yeah, we are going to follow the same drill. Remember, our topic is parent involvement in the children's education. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
So yes, today we are talking about how involved parents are in their children's education and how it is key, how it impacts their life. So are you the kind of parent that takes the kid to school and that is it? I have paid fees, that is it. They come back home, keep your report, I don't care. Next month you're going back to school. What kind of parent are you?
I'm not that kind of parent because me, I have come, I made sure that by 10 I'm at school. By the way, education these days is not all about paying fees and buying the scholastic materials. It's just all about you involving your child into what you want the child to be. The child, we sit with my child, my daughter who is in senior 1, and we discuss on certain issues. Like she can tell me our future perspectives. And then I come to school, I interact with the class teachers, interact with the dormitory people, interact with the cleaners. Because school is not all about studying and being there, but it's all about getting this person and other life skills. I even reached a level of going to the toilet, see where my child goes for easing us off. That's what we call child parents involvement. Then secondly, I thank this school because it has embraced the new curriculum. Personally, I have been studying about it, knowing about it, but I liked really it that when teachers also were really guiding us according to what the new curriculum is really depicting. This thing of 1, 2, 2.3, it's not all about who is getting 90, who is getting this, but it's just a kind of grading where children are no longer inferior of the marks they are getting, but they are really getting their strength. I really loved it when I saw my child scoring in some other subjects. She was performing poorly in primary level. So I need to follow up from 0 to where she will be going. Yeah.
Like I've been asking other parents, what is like your typical day for your child at school? Because we say learning begins from home. The first learning and nurturing of a child starts from home. And even if they get to school and still go back home, they are still being nurtured as like parents. You're also their teachers at home. So how do you make sure that your child is participating in different activities at home that will help them academically?
There are so many things. Me at home, every last Sunday of the month, it's called a family day out. I be with my children. Actually, as a father, I wake up in the morning, mop with them, wash utensils with them, so that I bring them properly. But every Sunday is a family day out at home.
Yes, we've heard it from the parents here. I love emphasizing this point a lot because personally, when I was in school, I experienced some of these things and I saw some of my friends experiencing this as well. I like emphasizing the point of depression. Sometimes children undergo a lot of depression and pressure when they're in school, and then they lack this parent-children bond, you know? Like you want to talk to your parent about certain issues that you're going through, but you can't talk to them. You want to ask for pads, but you can't talk to them. You want to talk to them about boy-girl relationships, but they're always tough. They're always, I don't know, life is hard, money is not there, stuff like that. But there are different ways you get to speak to your children and tell them this and this is not there. But just keep them involved, you know? Show them that you love them. Show them that it will be provided if it's to be provided. And if it can't be provided, there is a different way you talk to them. So the parent-children relationship is very important. So yes, another parent is here with me, though this one is as young as me. Hello, you're welcome.
Thank you. Hi.
Are you a parent? Are you a representative?
Student parent. Okay, I'm not a parent, but I came to visit my little brother.
Okay, so for this case, your little brother is parent. So our topic today is the involvement of a parent in a child's academic success. So you, as a parent or a representative, you've come here for a reason. So why do you think it's important for you to be here for your little brother, to be involved in his academics?
Okay, I think a parent understands their child more than a teacher who has merely met them. Okay, the teachers see the results, they give the work, they mark, but as a parent, you know your child's capacity. So you know how far your child should push, you know what your child should do, you know your child's focusing capacity. So it is important for the parent to intervene because they know how to talk to their child, they know how to convince their child, they know how to lead their child to the right path. Like maybe when they're going astray, some kids forget that maybe they're from poor families, or maybe they actually need to work hard to get where they want to be. So the parent helps in that kind of aspect.
Okay, so how has been your little brother's performance over the years? Or is he just in senior one? Has he just joined in?
He's in senior 4 and the performance is not perfect, but you can see he's trying. Like you can look through, you see he's trying the areas where you expect him to be good because you know he loves them. So when he fails in such areas, you know he's playing.
Okay, now since we're speaking about him being good in other areas and being weak in certain areas, how do you as a parent or your parents get involved in your brother's education to make sure that wherever he is weak at, they can strengthen those weaknesses?
You can go for coaching, you can encourage them because, okay, the fact is you cannot force the child to know what they do not know. So if they have failed to learn it on their own, then they need support. And that's where the coaching comes in. That's where the extra reading comes in. The discussions, you talk to their friends who perform better than them to help them out. Yeah.
So our conversations still continue, and remember our topic today is the involvement of parents in their children's education. And yes, joining me right now is a senior citizen. For this one, Iskas, you'll hear from him yourself. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, moderator. My name is Okuma John Francis. I happen to be from Palisa district, and I happen to be a professional teacher. Like you've said, I'm a senior citizen. Okay. I taught and headed schools. Then I also became a district education officer, Palisa, where I retired. Now, in as far as St. Michael International School is concerned, I also played the role of coordinator, coordinating issues of education from Palisa and beyond in the eastern of Uganda. So I am glad to be here today, and it's nice to have an audience with you.
Right. Well, we're also nice having you here. And yes, like I told the viewers, you are a senior citizen and you'll be actually the best person to talk to right now about this. Now, our topic today is based on the involvement of the parents in the children's education and how it impacts on a child's education in school. So you as a teacher and as a parent, as a coordinator, you must have had a lot of experience with some of these issues. So how important do you think a parent's involvement in a child's education can help them better?
Yeah, first of all, let me give you a background that I am a coordinator, the director of the school, so it's very important to extend opportunity to the disadvantaged areas, eastern and northern. We've had a lot of challenges. So my work is to ensure that we enroll the children who would like to take their education here through their parents. So what I do is to carry out the admission and also sensitizing the parents on how best they can support their children. And as far as today's topic is concerned, it's very, very, very important to involve parents in their children's education. And this can be done in very many ways. Of course, after you have produced your child, you need to show him direction. One, they have to ensure their children are enrolled. They have to ensure their children are supported. And support, as far as we are concerned, is so diverse that it involves, one, having taken the child to school, you provide the basics that are needed: stationery, uniform, feeding, and of course accommodation is taken care of by the school. Then the payment of the fees that the parents have to meet as their obligation. This impacts a great deal because, one, when the fees are paid promptly, the children's disruption on the studies is minimized. When the children are supported by way of feeding, definitely we know very well that feeding is more or less like giving a vehicle some fuel. It energizes the engine and it goes running. So it's very, very important. And what do? I encourage parents to ensure that all those activities supporting the children as such are put in consideration and promptly observed.
Well, also, there is this issue, and it's an issue that I like emphasizing because parents need to know about it a lot, the parent-children bond. There are times where children are scared of speaking to their parents or asking them for advice, asking for personal effects, because there are certain parents that are always angry, that are always barking at them, that are always scary, and it becomes unapproachable for some of these children. So sometimes they die with issues, and this is the reason as to why some children are committing suicide, they are going astray because of the lack of that bond. So as a parent and as a teacher, someone who has had this experience for all this while, what do you think, or what's your say on such a thing?
Yeah, you see, the relationship between a parent and a child is very key. And therefore, children being closer to their parents will give an opportunity or an environment where they will be able to freely discuss with their children and their parents issues affecting them. So what I do, even before, while I was still a DO, I encouraged the parents to always have time spared for them to share with their children pertinent issues. This will go a long way to set a free atmosphere between the child and the parent, and the child will air out those issues that seem to be posing challenges to them. And having discussed them, they have to ensure they implement. For instance, if it requires contribution by way of money, parents should be able to provide for that. If it requires giving advice, parents should be able to give that advice because it will strengthen them, giving them a backup support on which they can progress with their studies. It's very, very, very important. First and foremost, I would like to appreciate the government of Uganda for always being very innovative. This new curriculum is long overdue, awaited, because it has to do with practical involvement of the child's whole body to ensure that the child is built up well. Now, an innovation, when it comes with the challenges. Like the parents, some parents are complaining. It is true and right for them to complain because they may not have understood. But what I remember and what always government does is that when an innovation comes, technocrats handle it, then they move to sensitize the stakeholders, in which case it is at that point where parents usually should be highly involved so that they can track and follow up what happens. But in my own perspective, I would like to appreciate that this is a much better curriculum than the theoretical one that we have been having. However, even if it has started, sensitization should continue so that parents get abreast with and how it works.
So a lot goes on in school and there are different activities that students participate in school. But remember, our topic today is parents' involvement in the children's academic success, which is actually key. Now, joining me is the Chief Executive Officer of St. Michael International School, Wakiso. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, madam.
Okay. Now, when someone hears the name St. Michael International School, Wakiso, what should they expect?
First of all, thank you for hosting me. My name is Nantacha Edward James, the head teacher at St. Michael International School. That I prefer calling myself team leader.
Okay.
Because when you say the teacher, somebody might think that you're only heading the teachers, but a team leader means you head whoever is involved in school activities. Okay. So St. Michael International School was started in way back 2008 by our director, Henry Diksoka Munaba, and we have been in existence since 2008. We have produced very many products across all the professionals. We have those in the army, we have those in the police, we have the accountants, very many. And even at UBC here, we have our products working with you. So St. Michael International School, we have key core values, and it is cherishing academics and then discipline. So for us, when you come at St. Michael, academics #1, but also for you to be successful in academics, you must be a disciplined person. So we intermingle the two, or the two are intertwined when you're with us and when you give us your child. And our parents can even witness this, that all our products out there, they are well disciplined and also they have done well academically. Even when you Google, out of the first 10 schools in good performance per se in math A level, I think we shall not miss in the whole country. Okay. So we have always done well, and our products are also well behaved.
Well, I was doing a little research and there was something to do with, you say that St. Michael is a school that has a hybrid system. Yes. Of a traditional setting. Yes. With Christian values and then the modern values.
Yes.
Do you mind explaining some of these values?
Yes. Religious values, we embrace all religious denominations in St. Michael. We have the Anglicans are well welcome, and they have where they fellowship from. They also have their own leadership. We have the Catholic community also here, and they have their own church, their own patron, and their own executive. We have the born again under the CU, and these ones also have their own leadership and then their own way of doing things. The Muslims are also in school, so we are all embracing, and we are non-denominational. All religious groups are here, and we welcome them, we work with them, and we also assign all different groups respective patrons to help them nurture their religious growth and faith. Yes.
Now, as we kept on having different conversations,
Yes.
of course, with parents, the students, we get to realize that the impact of a parent in a child's education is key and very important. Now,
Yes.
as the head teacher of this school, what is your say on this?
Really, in education, not only parents, but we have three stakeholders when we are dealing with educational matters. We have, one, the government. It has its role to play.
Yeah.
We have the teachers. They also have their roles to play. Then we have the parents. They also have their roles to play. And then we have the students. So all of those four stakeholders, if we are to be successful in education, each of them must play its own roles. Now, parents are fabricators of the education system, not only in Uganda, but I think world over. Like, parents play a very pivotal role for a school to survive and for an education system to thrive. Parents are key. How are parents key? Remember, education starts from home. I and you remember our old mothers teaching us from home.
Yeah.
So education starts from home. Role number one of the parents, they must offer informal education in our homes. And that's why mothers are very important and fathers are very important. Reason the first education takes place at home. You all know how our parents used to tell us, when you wake up, you brush, you greet, you clean the face. We were also taught agriculture in our own homes. So parents give the first informal education. The discipline part of it, all of that is parents. Doing domestic work, leadership, all of those things happen in homes. Now, coming to this formal education where we bring children at school, still parents play a very important role. And remember, schools build on what the parents started on. That's why there is a difference between a child who grow up on the street and that one who grow up at home. So here in schools, the parents must provide to start with. They must bring children to school and they must provide them with all the scholastic materials. But also they must carry out the role of guidance and counseling. Discipline-wise, you must put hands, both the school and the parents, so that children are what? Disciplined. That's why we must have a very well-built chain from home up to school. They pay school fees, they buy books, they buy pennies, but also they help us in nurturing these children as far as discipline is concerned. So parents are one of the pillars when it comes to administering any form of education in school, because without parents, you cannot have learners, first of all. These learners come from parents' homes, so you can't have them. Then after bringing them, they pay school fees, and then all of the other things that are needed. And my piece of advice to parents is, whenever you're invited at school, go to school and hear from teachers. And let parents not only wait for visitation days, no. Find some time and go to school. Get to know the warden if the school is boarding school. Get to know the class teacher, get to know the teachers, and have even their personal contacts. We must have a well-built chain right from home up the school in order for our children and for education system to be successful.
Okay, so since we're talking about the parents being involved in the children's education when
Yes.
in school,
Yes.
that means also as the teachers, you play a role to ensure that the parents are engaged in the child's education.
Yes.
So what steps exactly do you follow? What criteria do you follow to make sure that these parents are involved in their children's academic performance?
We have the formal and the non-formal. We have those that are official, like for example, we organize visitation days. That's one of them, whereby we encourage all of the learners, all of the parents to come and visit their students, interact with them, interact with the school environment, and also interact with the teachers, and that's administrators. But also there are those ones that are not official. We encourage our parents to come and visit the school whenever need arises. Don't wait for these official days. Come, we shall allow you, but also we can invite you at school as an individual parent, be it for academic issues, discipline, or where we see that we need to share with you. So we have always told our parents every day from Monday to Friday, from 4:40 up to 5, come and visit us. Come and maybe you want to bring books, pens, other materials for the learners, come. But also we provide that avenue of the VD. Then on weekend, if there is an issue, we encourage you to come around and we discuss and share. Right. Yes. But also nowadays we have these social media platforms, WhatsApp. We have WhatsApp groups for every class. And we have always interacted with the teachers, I mean parents, on these social media platforms for every class. We have one for every class and then a general one for all of the parents. So we keep on communicating. We post there the school programs, school matters, what we need from them, circulars, they are always there. So we always provide that avenue of interacting.
All right, so the government also rolled out the new lower secondary school curriculum, which seems to be embraced by so many schools now.
Yes.
When it started, no one was understanding it and how it works. But as time goes on, people are picking up and they're loving it. So as St. Michael, how have you embraced this new curriculum and how is it working out for you now?
Yes, thank you. St. Michael has always taken a lead when it comes to embracing government programs. Maybe before I answer that, patriotism was rolled out. We have hosted even the National Secretariat of Patriotism here. Before COVID, we would do every first term holiday, we would do organize learners to remain at school for 2 weeks. And we train them in patriotism. PSA also we were there. And now when it came to this curriculum, by the way, teachers think this curriculum is new. And some were hesitant to embrace it. But what has changed is something little. What has changed is methodology of delivery and teaching. It is now more of learner participation than a teacher going to act as a priest that you're preaching in church. No question, no interaction. Now it is more interactive. And by the way, it is one of the best way of teaching that even teachers are trained in universities and the schools of education. Actually, government is just helping us to do what we are supposed to do. Now, coming back to your question, this curriculum was rolled out in 2020. We started it on. We sent our teachers for the trainings. Those teachers we sent came and trained our teachers. And now the beauty with it is that we are all learners, the students and the teachers. As we go teach learners, we also get back at our staff room into our departments and share, discuss to see that we make this learning very interactive.
The environment also matters. So what is the environment of St. Michael as a school and the location? How suitable and conducive is it for learners?
Our environment you can even witness by yourself. Our place is large enough, big enough, covered with green. We're on a hill. Okay. You cannot find the congestion here. And I believe this is one of the few schools in Uganda or East Africa where a child can come and meet a very conducive environment. Our pitch is just down there, parking yard. I mean, the green cover itself, our facilities are more than the number we have. Everything is here. Our environment is good. Structures very well. Seats are there. Green cover, the trees, the shades, mention etc. So our environment is good. Our teachers are friendly to the parents and to the what? To the learners. Our leaders, me, I call myself a team leader. I have led these people and my emphasis has always been, let us handle the children well, let us handle the workers well, let us handle the parents very well. Even the visitors, I doubt whether you were harassed at the gate. All of that
No.
is the environment. And we are welcoming. Our environment is welcoming to the teaching learning process. Yes.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Yes, so our topic today has been centered around the involvement of parents in their children's education. And as we get to continue having these conversations with the different students, the head teacher, and of course some of the parents, we get to realize the key points and the reason as to why this is very important. And one of the reasons is providing for the children, making sure that they're mentally steady, making sure that they're emotionally steady, and that they are doing very okay, not only in class, but also physically. So stay tuned, there is still so much coming your way. Well, the different stakeholders that help in the smooth running of a school, and when we are speaking about head teachers, CEOs, the parents, the teachers, all of these play a key role in the smooth running of a school, because each needs the other. The teachers need the students need the teachers, the parents need the teachers. It just works in a cycle. Now, joining me on the show right now is the director of St. Michael International School, Wakiso. Welcome, sir.
I'm Henry Dukso Kamnava, Chairperson Board of Directors, St. Michael International School. I would like to mention that there are key stakeholders in an education system. It's not only about the students, about students, parents, the government, and the owners. For us as the owners, we are assisted by the Board of Governors, and the Board of Governors in place in line with the Education Act 208, where we have a representation of 5 members on that board. Okay. And being the chairperson of the Board of Directors and my other colleagues, I'm among the 5 members. For St. Michael International School, we've been in place for the last, since 2007. Okay. And I would like to say that the stakeholders have helped us to do what we have done for all this time. We have nurtured a number of students. We are young, but we have former students well placed in government. A number of them are in ministries, others are in business, others are in the academia. And we are proud of this. It has been possible because of all the stakeholders. Okay. And the first Board of Governors did a great part in setting systems where all players have a mandate to do certain things. And because of that, these systems have enabled us to reach where we are right now.
When parents are choosing a school to take their children to, there are different features they're going to look at. And first is the infrastructure. Once a parent is coming in here to get admission for their child, they're going to look at the infrastructure. Is this the kind of environment that my child should come to before they look at any other aspect? So what is the infrastructure like here, and why is it important to have a good infrastructure?
Yeah, of course the infrastructure right here speaks for itself. First of all, the setting of the school, the master plan of the school. It is a spacious infrastructure. There are a number of spaces where the students can easily move. We are not in a squeezed environment. 2, we have one of the best buildings in the country. When you enter the classrooms, there's enough furniture. When you go to the dormitories, they are well spaced. When you go to the playing fields, they speak by themselves. The Ministry of Education and Sports set minimum standards for any school to be registered. Of course, there are some schools, especially in the urban setting, where you find, you ask yourself, how did this school get a registration certificate? But for us at St. Michael International School, when you move around, first of all, we are seated on top of the hill on 35 acres, and the buildings are well set, well aligned. Okay. That's why when you see one building, you see a line. There is accessibility. Then the other thing, which is a positive, where parents, I think, take it as the best is that we are outside the real urban setting. We are just at the periphery of the urban center, on the hilltop. This one, it makes concentration key in the child's upbringing. They concentrate. It is not very easy for a child to escape from the hilltop here and go to the town. But besides, we are all enclosed. There's a wall fence as you've moved around. The entire facility is well enclosed. We have everything within. We have a standby generator to ensure that there is power 24/10. We have solar system, I think you can see up there, so that it supplements the generator in case there's no power. We have a water system. We have 24-hour water. The other thing is about the playing fields. We have a number of playing fields. We have basketball court, table tennis, volleyball, football, netball, and other playing grounds. So all this is a conducive environment whereby if any parent came around, the first impression is that this is the right place for his child to be here.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so since we're talking about the space between the children in class, having enough desks and having enough space between the buildings and all that, what is the ratio of the children in class, per class?
It's 140.
Okay.
Yeah, 140. 40 students. If a stream, when it reaches 40, we go to another stream. You've seen we have more than enough classrooms around. Some classes have 3 streams, others 2. When we go to A level, apart from there are some subjects where we have more students, like I will tell you, there is the mathematics. If the number of mathematicians in a stream, if they go beyond 50, then that means we shall have mathematics A and B. Because we are science-based, and the largest number of students are doing mathematics. So that has the largest number of students. So we try to ensure that the teacher-to-student ratio is that one which is affordable, where a teacher can easily identify all his students. He can easily have a one-to-one with the child so that they are able to understand those unique attributes of a particular student. There are certain schools where you find one stream, one class has over 250 students or 400. My sister, I must tell you that it is impossible for that teacher to deliver. First and foremost, you will be restrained to give tests and examinations because of the numbers. By the time you finish marking 200 scripts, I think it may not work out well. So the parents here, they have to take the right decision on the school where you're taking your child. Are you taking your child to a school where a classroom is 400? Or are you taking your child to a school where in a stream they are 40?
Okay,
Yeah.
so since we're speaking about the numbers of the kids in class, what is the population like of the school? Is it manageable? Is it enough? Is there room for more students?
Oh yeah,
What is it like?
the population is manageable, but there's still more room for more students. Because like I told you, we're on 35 acres. Right now we are oscillating around 1,000, I think, around 1,000 students.
Okay.
But we have enough facility that can accommodate 1,500 students.
Okay.
Yeah, when you are doing very well.
Is there any challenge that you have had trying to embrace this new curriculum and of course other challenges as a school?
As a school, I would say from the word go, we never had serious challenges on the new curriculum. However, when I try to share with my colleagues, the biggest challenge is acceptability of the curriculum. Acceptability of the curriculum by the players. In most schools, at first, there was a lot of resentment from the teachers, and until they came to know that it is a government policy which must be taken on. The other challenge, which is everywhere, is the cost involved, especially with the introduction of the DIT. The number of costs that are involved that are inevitable. And it is a process where we need to inform the parents that it is the way to go. For instance, like right now, to register for DIT, each student has to pay 80,000 shillings. Now, to explain this to the parents that this is outside the school fees, it is not an easy task.
Have you found any challenges trying to make sure that the parents embrace this new curriculum, understand it, and take it on?
Yes, there's that challenge of interpretation of the end-of-year reports by the parents. Some parents cannot interpret the end-of-year reports. They can't. The assessment process, and even the staff, they had to take time to understand the assessment process. But this has been simplified by the continuous skilling. Besides the skilling done by NSCDC, as a school, we have made it a policy that as we begin, every time we are beginning the term, we get trainers from NSCDC to come and talk to our teachers. Then in the middle of the term and at the end of the term, 3 times. And I think that has really helped us. Among my staff, we have over 6 trainers. And there's no shortcut in St. Michael. You cannot be a teacher here if you don't understand the new lower secondary curriculum.
All right, so before we wrap up this interview, are there any enclosed relationships you have with the government?
The relationship between the school and the government is through the Ministry of Education. They do the supervisory to ensure that we are doing the right things at the right time. Through the appointment of the Board of Governors. And the Board of Governors is governed by the Education Act 208. That is our relationship. The other challenge I would say, which is cutting across, the government and us as parents and the schools, they are mostly emphasizing the girl child and forgetting that the boy child is also a child. All interventions are going to the girl child. What has happened to the boy child? And in the nutshell, we are producing ghetto boys. So as St. Mike, we are saying all children are equal. Yes, there's the girl child, but there's also a boy child. Should we produce our boys and are molested by the old women? Why are you only emphasizing the girl child? So the emphasis should be on all children.
Right, so Director, it's not very common to find someone of your position coming on such a day, like a visitation day. So why exactly are you here today?
First and foremost, I'm the fulcrum of the system. I understand the system better. But I was brought up in a humble way. I'm a son of a teacher. My father was a teacher, my mother was a teacher. I came from a very poor background. I need to understand the problem. We talked about stakeholders. The parents are the biggest stakeholder in all this investment. I need to understand their problems. They need to be listened to. I need to be listened to. I need to interact with the child and the parent. Like I've been interacting. If there's poor performance in the child's grades, then we need to sit, me as the director, the teachers, the parent, and the child. That's how we can move forward in the right direction.
Based on our conversations today, and of course the chats we've had with the teachers, the students, the directors, and so many others, it has been a very lovely journey seeing some of the innovations, which is very beautiful. But yes, remember our topic today has been the involvement of parents in the children's education, which of course contributes to their successful learning in a school. But also besides that, I said that in a school, it's not only about the events that take place here, like the visitation days, the sports days, the quiz competitions, and so much more. These are the days where the children get to bond with their parents and of course the teachers, hands-on, one-on-one. Because when you come to see your children in school, you're not only coming to visit them and bring them the grubs, the snacks and all that, but you're also coming to see how they are performing in school, how they are doing in certain subjects. And yes, the new curriculum has come with a lot of differences that many parents do not understand and many people in general. And yes, we are all just learning to get used to it and see how it works. But yes, we are embracing embracing it, and it's a very good one. Very many people are loving the new skills that the children are getting as they continue with their education journey. And also the director mentioned something about the girl child having more interventions than the boy child, which is something, yes, the government needs to look up to, because yes, they are all children and they all need the support, they need the interventions, they need the innovations. But ladies and gentlemen, that is all we had on the Education Forum today. My name is Amuge Victoria. Until next time, bye-bye.